Alright, in this video I just want to make a short video. This 2 to the n. So on my other YouTube channel, which I cannot access, it's locked and the keys thrown away from when YouTube did the Google switch. So basically this whole thing here is to show you 2 to the n. And when you write out all the binary numbers, I will do that really quick here, pause the video and come back. Okay, so here are all the possible placeholders in an 8-digit binary number, right? So now when they ask you how many hosts, they give you a host and you need to find the subnet mask. What you do, Cisco tells you 2 to the n, right? Well, wasn't if you don't know that by heart? Wasn't if you're put 2 to the 16, or 2 to the, or no, I'm sorry, it'd be 2 to the number of bits. Yeah, it wouldn't be 16. Sorry. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 2 to the 5. Well, I mean, are you gonna do that in your head without a calculator? How are we gonna figure this out? Okay, here's what you do. Okay, to figure out 2 to the n, we just start with 2. We double. 2 to the 1, okay, is 2. This just doubles. And basically, yes, it is doubling what it is below. This will be 16. This will be 32. So when you're giving a number of hosts, let's just say it's 29 hosts, okay? As I said in that other video right here. When it's 29, let me get back to, when it's 29 hosts, come back up, there we go. When it's 29 hosts, remember we have to subtract 2 for hosts. So this number is actually 30. Remember, so if we're doing hosts, we're actually subtracting 2. So this number is actually 30. So 29 would be correct. If it said 31 hosts, well, this would not be, because this is, remember, we have to subtract 2. So we'd have to go 1 over, which would 64, subtract 2. This would give us 60 or 62 usable hosts. And but that's basically how you figure out 2 to the n, is start with 2 and double. And the same thing going the other direction, if it gives you the number of networks that you need. And networks is even easier. You don't have to subtract 2 unless it specifically says we're not using network 0. Okay, well then we subtract 2. But we just start at the bit boundary and we start out with 2, 4, 8, wherever your boundary is. You know, this is true if it's a class, you know, if you're breaking down a class A, class B, class C. Remember though, if you're doing hosts and we're going this way to this way, this is definitely going to start in the last octet, where when we start at 2, depending on what class you're breaking down, this could start anywhere from the 3rd octet all the way to the 4th octet. So if this were a class A, you would write 255. If we were finding out, you know, networks, for example, 255, and then we would start, you know, if you were giving, we need this many networks, well, we would start with a 2 right here and go 4 and just keep on going. And we can go and these will not reset when we go into the other octet. When we go into the 3rd octet and 4th octet, these numbers will just keep on doubling and doubling and doubling. You see why? I mean, yeah, 2 to the n is, it's kind of good to know that you're doing that, but are you going to remember 2 to the, are you going to remember what 2 to the 10 is? I mean, I mean, 2 to the 10, this is how you're going to figure this out. You're just going to keep on writing it like this. There is unless you could do that in your head, there is no other way to do 2 to the n. So if you're going to memorize 2 to the n, just know that 8 digits is 256. So just remember that 2 to the 8 equals 256. And then you can just skip. Then you don't have to write this out 8 times if you have to go into, the next octet, which, here we're going to go into 512. And then we got 1024. And so on. And then you double that. Well, what do we got? Then we got 2048. So this is something that you can do in your head if you're good at math. But because we're just doubling here. But each one of these individual ones in between the 2 and the very last one, the 256, don't memorize those things. Just write it out: 2, 4, 8, 16. And then if you do memorize it because you've done it so many times, okay, good. But I can write this out on the CCNA exam and figure this out almost just as fast as if I knew it in my head. It does not take it does not take that much time. Just make sure you can do this quickly, though. You don't want to sit and slow walk those questions, but not memorizing what 2 to the 5 is, or 2 to the 6, or this will tell you right here. You just keep on doubling and keep writing it out. So anyway, I hope that helps.